we are upgrading our house here, and this light has to go. So undid that one and got a new light. This light, pretty cool. You can mount it vertical. We're gonna mount it horizontal. I'm pretty tall. I like to have lights not hitting me in the head like that one did. So this is how we're going to mount it. It's gonna go right up here like this. Now, of course, the old light, you can see where the paint pattern was, so we'll be able to touch up the paint, but that'll be after we get this up here and installed so that we can make sure that it's connecting properly. But that's gonna look really, really nice. And the really nice thing about it too is it's gonna get off a great light illumination down where we want it to be. All right, first steps here, get the old light out here. We rewired the outlet as well. So we got that going on. It comes with a lot of these smaller wire nuts. I like to use ones that are a little bit bigger, so I go into my supply and grab them. But if you have only these, they will work. The wiring that this comes with is very small gauge, so you do have the opportunity to be able to utilize it. It comes with the ends just barely off. I like to open up the wires a little bit to make sure that you have a little bit more room to be able to work with the wires, so just be aware of that. And then the wire nuts that I have are these here. Quite a bit bigger, but they'll work really well with the solid copper lines that I have coming out of the socket. All right, so to be able to prep everything, you gotta strip your wires. Before you deal with electrical, make sure that the circuit is off. Go to the circuit breaker, turn the circuit breaker off, make sure the switch is off. Don't want to mess with electrical without that. All right, we got that stuff out of the way. I got all my tools here. First thing is remove the mounting bracket. This here's the mounting bracket, so you're gonna take off the screws on both sides to do that. So one screw, set those aside so you don't lose them. All right, we got that off. The other one's already gone. Okay, now we can pull that off. Now the light here, you're gonna set aside because you don't need that right now. First, you're gonna get the mounting plate up there and then you'll be able to connect the light. So we'll set the light back down. Good to have the box close at hand. I have my wire strippers here so I can go through and strip the wires. Insulation off there. And then pull it, perfect. Go through. Okay, so we have the wiring here. You have L, the brown wire there for live. You have this yellow with the green, that's the ground. And then you have the blue wire here, neutral. It's not labeled here, or negative, it might be what they also call it here. They don't have it labeled properly on the instructions. They do have the little L, the wire here with the N. The N is actually here inside the box, so it came off the wire, but at least I can know that the yellow with the green stripe would be the ground, and then so that would make this the negative wire there. So that's how we'll wire it up. It can make it easier to have two people helping with this, just because, especially with this being so high, trying to mount it up there and get the wires done. But if you're talented, you can do it by yourself. Just be warned that it's always good to have the buddy system when you're trying to do these things. So I'm gonna go up here. I have in my hand here, I have a couple wire nuts, some of the small ones that came with the kit. They might work a little bit, and then I also have my bigger ones up here on the top of the ladder. We got plenty of room inside the box to be able to put the wires up inside there. So just be aware of how it's going to all come together for you, and there's plenty of room inside the box here for the wires to be able to rest after you have them all connected together. So plenty of room on both sides to make this happen. All right, so I'm gonna go and take my wires here. All right, we have the wiring completed here. As mentioned, makes it a lot easier to have two people, but with one person, we got it done here. All right, now the real test here, we need to check to make sure that it's gonna turn on. Helper, can you turn it on? Ta-da! All right, that's a good sign that we wired it properly when the light actually turns on. Phew! Okay, the next step here, we'll turn the light off. You'll tuck the wires into the casing here to make sure that they are stored properly. And that way they don't come apart. I'll store them up here. And then you put this over that. And then mounts into the ceiling here. There's the screw holes. So just make sure you're lining those up like the original screw holes that you have. And you have your screws. If you have a magnetic screwdriver, that does wonders for getting these back in. I'll line it up here with my hand and then grab the screwdriver to be able to put the rest of them back in here. You don't want to screw them all in really tight yet. You want to give yourself a little bit of slack so that you can then go through and tension them all up once you have them in there, just in case you need to wiggle things around. The kit comes with the 4 screws that you need to be able to go into all the different holes that are around here. So just go through, get them put into place, and then you're all set and ready to rock and roll on this light. All right, we mounted one horizontally. Now we're gonna mount one vertically. We're gonna replace this light. All right, let's get this other light off, get the beauty installed.
And here's the second one up, daytime hours. Just looks pretty cool. So now you can see it in the daytime. And then again, with that horizontal mount, just something kind of different, but it just looks nice and gonna be a cool new feature to our house.